All right, time to review your classic homework, which you should have already finished. And so, starting down on the bottom left, we are drawing our trend line. Our push one stay below that. We got our little horizontal breakout point where they didn't go above that either. So we have a push one right there. So how else do we know we have a push one there? Well, look at we got a baseline bounce right here. You get baseline bounces off of you can get it off of push one or push two. Those are the only two we'll be looking at in this period right here. Sometimes you can get them off the extreme, but we're not looking at that right now. Okay, so we have a push one up there that met our requirements for not breaking the trend line or this breakout point, and we have a baseline bounce. Good solid push one. So then we put our clip in there. We start in. Where are you going to start it? Well, started at the right in here because it wouldn't make sense to put it in up here. All right, so we're going to start right there, and we can see that it didn't quite work out very well. So we shifted it. We shifted it over here, so we got a one up and a two up. Okay, but this is part of push two. We can use that as a point. You're looking for points for where you can extend the line eventually. And you could have gone from here to up there would have been even more extreme. So this is the next logical point to go in there. So it came down, and we put it in there. If we extend it all the way out, it works quite well. That's after the fact that you can see it, but you put it in way down here, long before all this stuff here is done. Okay, we put our numbers on there, 1, 2, 3, and we can see we put a classic right in here. And they came back in here because you get a move up in here, a nice strong move off the bottom. But then they pulled back a ways, and you have a reversal traders who went long in this area in here. So they came back and got those guys. Now I'm looking at a second setup, classic setup in the same day, same pair. We've got a trend line there and a breakout situation right here, and push one stayed well inside of it. So how are we going to start our clip right in here? Well, let's see. You could start it off going like another one way out here on the extreme, like we did down here. Except that would put the thing way the heck out here. It'd be your push three would have a hard time doing it. So the next best place is what you see up in here, where these two bars. You had a solid up bar that well, I mean you had a bar going up that closed right there, and a red one that opened right there. Both at the same point. That's at a point of inflection, so you can put that as your next best option. Okay, so we go in there and look at, see, it extends all the way down perfectly for the day, or for this movement in here. So our numbering is we got a 2, 3 down there, and I know you're looking at this and say, well, maybe that's your push two. It's not. It's your push two of two coming down. We'll get to that later. But your stop hunt of the classic movement came back in. Your move came down here, so we're right in here. Because you see, when it came down below, it didn't really blast right below. It just came down, bounced around in here for a while, then came down. So we have no extended point down in here, and we have no reversal traders up in here to get. So this is the most logical place for them to come back to hunt. Okay, going on to the next one. We're going to start up top left. Put our little trend line in there, our point for breakout traders. Neither one have been broken by our push one. Okay, so then we're going to start our clip up in here. We could have started it out there, but right in here seems pretty good because of this line going down. But then if you extend it down, you see it didn't hit it. So you move it a little bit. So okay, let's try it up here then. You try it up there, and you can see it came out. It didn't quite work. So you what you're doing is you're trying to find focal places. You could put it up in here if you wanted to, but I found a better place down in through here, because you see it caught this on the top side, caught these, and then this is coming down on it. It's riding it down, and this is on the upper side of the clip, and this is riding it down on the bottom side of the clip. So this works out well, and we got our counter in there, 2, 3, and our uh, classic movement where it came back and stop hunted these guys almost to the T. Why did it come back there? Why didn't it come back way up in there? Well, look what they're doing. When the price came down here, it did have a good shift bar going below one. Nice solid bar that went way down here. So I know these guys weren't filled right where they had the breakout. You had two prices right there where you'd have breakout traders looking to go short. Didn't fill them there because you had a big shift bar in here. They filled them down in here someplace. Okay. Plus, look at this right here too. You see how this price comes back up in here? What happened here? By going above this and to there, they entirely flipped the book. They induced a lot of people going long off of that, exceeding that price, and they came over here and hit all these guys who are still at break even for going short. So they entirely flipped their book. They get everybody going long. That means they are short. And so down they go. All right, so looking at our next one, starts over here and one's right there. Yeah, I know. You say, but where's the trend lines? Well, we don't have any over there for today. We're looking at Asia to the right. So we have our first move is up because this is our pullback. First, it's our pullback. That's the lower day, so our first push up one right there. Also, what do we have? We've got our baseline bounce in there. You see, a push one and a baseline bounce pullback. So how do we put our clip in there? Well, we can start right in here. We can put it up here. It's going along the bottom of that. It's going through that point of inflection. That's pretty good, but it doesn't quite work. So if you move down here to the bottom, just along that line, you can see how it goes up through here. I mean, that way you get the best shot at seeing where push 3 is. So putting our numbers on there, we go like this, and we came way down here. Why do we come way down here? Well, of course, we have reversal traders in here who went long. They're after those people. Of course, they're getting these guys. They get a little inducement by going below these points, these 2 points going short, but they're mostly after these guys down here. Okay, so here we are. We're going to start over here. And where's our low over here? Where's our low of Asia? I know you're looking at that saying, that's one, but it's not. See this right here? It's above the low of Asia. This is the low of Asia. If this is the low of Asia, that can't be one. You start counting from the absolute low or the high. So that has to be where one starts. So we start coming in here, putting our trend line in there. It bumped it a little bit because that's our one. But our breakout point that was up there, it didn't touch it. Okay, so look at this. We also have another baseline bounce coming in pretty handy here. Oh, that's at the extreme. That's at the extreme. That's not the push one pullback. I'm sorry. See, that's at the extreme. Sometimes you do get them there, but we don't use that for indicating push one. That's just can be an extreme of the day. All right. So then we got our one in there. We're going to start our clip going through here. So see how we did it? We can put it down through here, but that extend it way over like this, and that be it just doesn't work out that way. It doesn't have good geometric proportions to it. Like if you're looking around 45 degrees, probably is a good point to start off with. It's pretty close to that, but it also is going where the price comes down here, went up. It's got some good it's got the internal points of inflection on that. So if we extend it out, you see how we got one up, we got 2 and 3 up above it, 1 above it, below, 2 above it, below, 3 above it. Okay, and we come back here, and our stop hunt on push 1 came right back here because you see push 1 was contained by this big line right here. I think that's an OO line, like 100, 200, whatever the numbers they use at the end. So this came right to it. So they got them right there, and then off they went. Just typical. It's an excellent classic setup. So our next one, we put our trend line in there, our point for breakouts right there. It push 1 stayed right inside of it. That's great. So we come in here and we start our clip right going right up through here. We don't have to wait for it to come way up in there. We can start down here, and you should. Okay, so we got it right in there. Got this low and that high in between them someplace, and up it goes. So we're going to extend it up, and there it goes, and that's fine. Put our numbers on there, and our clip for coming back. Well, not a clip, I'm sorry. Our classic movement, and we identify how it came back and stop on it, push 1. So let's see here. Okay, yeah, we got a little. We had that spike up and pull back on this what it took out push 1. So yeah, when it spiked up, it ran their points of their orders in there, the breakout orders. They ran it a little bit, but it's still a very good situation as well. It's good logic for picking out that point for a stop hunt. So our next one, Wow, look at this rascal, huh? Our trend line's way up there, and our point for breakout traders is way up there. So we're pretty safe by saying this is push one way down here. Okay, so what else do we have? We have our baseline bounce right there, indicating a push one pullback. So how do we draw our clip? Well, we can stop right there. We can say it goes up like that, and it works. Okay, we could extend it up further, but usually it's pretty extreme if you go up that far. I mean, this is about 60 degrees, not quite 60, 55 maybe, or whatever. We go one up, two up, and then a stop hunt. Yeah, I know you're saying, well, this should be your two up because it came down into here, but it's not. Look at one, two, three. It's a whipsaw in here. See how one went up, two went above it, came down. This is the next pattern we'll be looking at, or movement we'll be looking at is whipsaws. But I just wanted to point out why this is not push two, but this is push two right in here. So with our push two up there, it came back and stopped under them, just about right to the T, huh? It's not right to the T because we had a little shift candle that went boom right above it. It ran their points of entry, their stop entries, and we're up in there. That's what it makes sense for up in there. Yeah, I know they came down here a little bit, came up there, but then you go up here. This is where it came from. There's no point down below that other than maybe right here where they would have come. But this is fine. It's logical. You have to go with the logic at times. What makes sense. So our next one, we've got a trend line there, which push one stayed well within. We've got another trend line, which push one just stayed inside of, and a breakout point. Push one is right there. Okay, so we got our one, and see how we started the clip in here? We went from the high, and then we went to points of inflection. High, pushed back, and it came back in here. I mean, that's all we had for push one is just something like that. So yeah, see how it's like about a 45-degree angle. You can start off there if you got no other idea where to go, and then you just extended that down, and it worked out beautifully. So the 1, 2, 3 down here, and then our point right here, the stop hunt of push one. See how they came back right to that point? Why was it right to that point? Well, look at they flipped the books again. See how they went above this point? They induced so many people going long there, and then they got everybody who was a potential who had a sell breakout sell right in there. Plus, they're getting some of the reversal traders right up in here. I mean, this is a great place for a nice and logical place for where the classic stop hunt should come back to. So our next one, we're going to start up on the left there, and we have our little trend line, our breakout point. Push one stayed well within inside that because we've got a one there, and our clip started right there. Okay, and then we're going to extend it down. It worked out well. So there's our push one, two, and three, and our classic. The classic came back. Oh, here's one up here, but it came down below it. Well, look at this shift bar. You know they didn't fill the breakout traders when they went below that. They filled them down here. So it makes perfect sense for it to come back into this area in here. Plus, there's no one in here as full as far as a pullback that they would have had to take out to reverse the trades. They get the breakout traders right here. That's all they needed. Down they came, and then the reverse went up. That's an entirely different pattern. We'll go into that later. So down here on this one, we draw our trend line. Whoops, it came out slightly above it, but it didn't come anywhere near a breakout point. So we're good for calling that one. Okay, and how do we start our clip? Well, it comes down here. You can start it right along the point right here. You can start it up here, but again, that's too much of an extreme of a move. 45 or thereabouts is sufficient. That's the best we can do with this one right here. But if you notice, when you extend it out, it works because one went above, came back to it. Two went above and came back down below. Then three went above. Who knows if it'll come back down? It will eventually, but not right now. So we got a 1, 2, 3 in there, and our classic came back right in here. Why'd they come here? Well, they got these reversal traders in here they had to come down and get. I guess it looks like they moved their stops up enough so that, well, let's see here. If we had a reversal trader going in here, going above this point on, I don't know. I would have thought they would have come down more. But this still fills the logic for coming down, getting some reversal traders. They must have moved enough of them moved their stops up higher. Okay, so over here we're going to start on this one. There's our trend line. There's our breakout point, and our push one stayed well within it. It's way up in here. And then we have our little clip that we started. You see how it started coming down? We've got our one that came down and pulled back, so we just went right through the middle of it. It's like 45. And then you just extend it. It works fine. So you get your two that just came down below it and back above. And then you've got your classic movement coming back for the stop hunt. You see the shift bar that broke past the push one right there. Well, then you would expect the price to come in a little further down. They would have run those breakout stops down a little bit. And of course, they flipped the book somewhat by going above here. So it's good, very good logic for this to be a point for this classics to come back and stop hunt. And let's see, hold on. And I got too excited. We've already gone through them all. So hopefully you all worked out. If it didn't, if something didn't work out, you don't understand my explanation, please reach out. Thank you.